Whoa. Welcome, Clobberers. What's up? What is up, my clobbering buddies? Welcome to Clobbering Times. Wildcard Wednesday night. This is Clobbering Times issue number 256 on YouTube, but 956 overall. And it is Thanksgiving Eve, a night I never miss. That's right. I am always here. In all the years I've been doing this, I never miss a Thanksgiving Eve. I hope I don't. I think I don't. Pretty sure I don't. Pretty sure I never have. Oh well. Yeah, fairly confident that I never have. Well, look who's here tonight. We got a good gang with us here, of course. Yeah, this is just going to be, I guess, just basic. Gonna just do the basics, folks. The basic, just you and me, kid, type of a stream. Your clobbering buddy hanging out with you clobberers and talking to you, hanging out with you because that's what I like to do. That's what I'm here for. Um, and we have, I'll give a couple of show notes in a second, just a big shout out to J-Man who popped in and said, saying a quick hello. Hello there, my friend. I hope you are doing well, I hope you're hearing this, but even if you're not, great to see you there. And I hope you're up there. I don't know if you guys, that's right, you already had your Thanksgiving. Well, I hope you had a wonderful one, but it's great to see you. And I'm thankful to know a great pal like J-Man. And thankful for all of my clobberers. Phantom Outsider, what's up, brother? Good to see you, dude. Hope you're doing well. The man of iron, D-Bud Martin. D-Bud, now one of these days I want to get my act together and talk some Iron Man. And you would be the man to talk some Iron Man with. Kal-El, what's up, buddy? Hey, Steven, indeed. Good to see you, my friend. Crazy Jr., hello there. Hey, Troy. Troy Pacelli, hello there, my friend. It is great to see you. Oh, there you go. Hey, J-Man. Oh, I got you, brother. Well, good to see you, buddy. That's cool. Yeah, I'm not sure how the whole tagging works. What a long day, but I'm glad to be back home and do some clobbering. Well, Red Feliciano, what's up, Raymond? Hope you're doing well, buddy. I hope you had a good stream today. Because I wouldn't know. I've been out, so I haven't been able to see much. But well, look there. Look who's here. Of course, also the great Chris Persia, master of all that is the Canadian French Canadian. Good to see you there, my friend. Oh my goodness! Oh, look at that, Netters Network. Hello there, love. It is great to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you are having a lovely, wonderful, Thanksgiving Eve, and hope you will have a wonderful Thanksgiving tomorrow. Sherry, the lovely Sherry. Sherry, it's so great to see you, my dear. You are amazing, and I would sing your name like the song, but it would be embarrassing. Well, you'd be able to laugh at me, but it would be really embarrassing for me. And although I really am kind of an embarrassment anyway, so I should probably just do it, but I don't know. I'm afraid even I just don't know. Max Redstone, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. I'm watching Max Winslow in the House of Secrets. Marina Spiritus is the voice of the computer. Wow. Whoa. Ooh, I did not know that. Steve Mitchum, what's up, bro? Good to see you, buddy. Stuart Mitchell. What is up, buddy? As always, never forget Dolly head braces. Great to see you here, my friend. Yes, Crazy Jr., I love me so. I could use me a Hostess fruit pie now that I think of it. Not that I need one. Yes. I just did a video about it last week. In fact, the the old Marvel and DC Hostess fruit pies ads. Chris, indeed. Ilaga Balas. What's up, buddy? Ilaga Balas. Let's see. I hope you enjoy clobbering your Thanksgiving. plus including room for seconds and thirds. I hope so, buddy. Thank you, and I hope you do the same. I hope you do the same. It's my favorite. I love Thanksgiving. Excuse me, I just love it. Oh dear, the throat clear button. Oh my goodness. Well, so yeah, well, show notes tomorrow night. Hopefully, it looks like we'll be doing it. The Clobberies Clubhouse will happen tomorrow night, Thursday nights as usual. I do believe if anything changes, I'll let you know. But I do believe we're going to be doing it. My wonderful first officer, the great Raquel Briggs, and of course the great chief engineer Mark D with a C says he will try to make it. So we will be here, folks. Looks like it. So no global geek gang tomorrow though. And of course Saturday night Star Trek, and just again, those are just going amazingly well. We're having so much fun doing Saturday night Star Trek, my friends. And so I'm looking forward to that. As always, 4 more episodes. And then Monday night, I've been doing, as you own, I dropped a new Spinner Rack Time Machine video today. 1971, November, week 4. And tomorrow the follow-up video will open. Will debut. And then Monday night will be the big stream. Well, it'll be an open comic stream where I will do a longer, more thorough wrap-up of the November 1971 Spinner Rack Time Machine chronology there. On Monday night, Mark C. Comics Talk. And so there you go. And then, of course, next week, we'll start the December Time Machine. And also, I got all kind of stuff in the works for December. Of course, I'm not exactly sure. It's not all put together yet, but I'm going to be reviewing some great comics. I'm going to do a couple of comics reviews. Of course, Loki and I will be reviewing another DC animated film. Maybe we'll do 2. I don't know. I'll see if I coax him to do 2 of those. Obviously, our Saturday night Star Trek's will go on, except for probably Christmas night. The Christmas is a Saturday this year. So, obviously, we won't be doing it. It'll be the only time this year we will have not done a Saturday night Star Trek, but that will be on Christmas. So, however, if things don't, I'm not there. My plans are up in the air. If I end up not going out of town for Christmas, which could happen, I'm not sure yet. I'll just do a plain old stream for Christmas. But I don't think we'll have a Saturday night Star Trek on that Christmas Saturday night. But other than that, all kinds of fun stuff in the works for December. Well, let's get out of November first, right? Yeah. Well, Phantom Outsider, I do love JL New Frontier, although I have some issues with it. Some story elements. JL Dark, I'll have to take your word for it. I just can't stand any of this post Screw 52 DC animated movies. I hate them. So I haven't even bothered to watch that one. But I'm glad you like them. What the hell's wrong with me? My voice, as bad as it always is, was fine earlier. I don't know what's happening to me. Sorry about that, folks. But I don't know. The weather is getting weird, so maybe my voice is getting more messed up than I expected. I'm afraid I don't know, but we'll plunge through it, shall we? Man, what in the hell? I don't even know what's going on here. No, I hope that took care of it. What in the? It's like it just popped in all of a sudden. Oh, well, yeah. Look, oh, by the way, we will have something special in mind, by the way, for Saturday night Star Trek this weekend. So, you'll really, I think you really all like what we have planned for you there. A special we're gonna go into it with tonight on a very special Star Trek. Excuse me, Clobbies and Raquel's Clobber Time Saturday Night Star Trek. Yeah, I hear you, Phantom. I just, I guess I can watch it. I just don't like. I hate everything they've done after the Screw 52 in terms of their the DC animated movies. And so, I don't know. D-Bud says, I only have the 2 Adam West voiced Batman animated movies. Well, those are nice. I remember I went to the first one. They showed that at the theater. I don't know if they showed the second one at the theater. They may have also. I know Shatner does the voice of Two-Face in the second one, but anyway. So yeah, we'll figure out what we're going to review. I want to review a couple of comics. Hopefully, some Superman ones. Well, Stuart Mitchell, it's not for me to say, buddy, but it'll be a special. This is going to be a very special episode of Saturday Night Star Trek. Troy, yeah, I know. I see the sarcasm, and I do understand. The Batman Batgirl scene was disgusting. The part when they finally got to where they adapted the Killing Joke was at least fairly well done. And yes, I was one of those dumb enough that went to the movie theater for the Fathom event to see that thing. That's how smart I am. Ugh, boy. So yeah, that's yeah. I can't, again, this is just. That's what I mean, though. Ever since, because I used to really love some of these DC animated movies. And they can't do a straight up adaptation. And when they do, they adapt trash like the Flashpoint Paradox, which I hate, and Screw 52 crap. But when they adapt quote unquote famous stories, I don't know about classics, but famous stories, they always screw up the ending. And it was it's sick and depraved, but then again, that's what you get when you follow trash like Flashpoint and when you and the DC Screw 52 and stuff like that. I don't know who was in charge at the time. I don't know if Bruce Timm was really calling the shots. They say he wasn't, which is fine. I don't know who did it. I don't know the name, but DC, of course, since their comics division was turned to crap, they figured they would do it to their animation wing too. And I don't know who makes the call, who signs off on this crap sometimes. When they do, terrible garbage like the Batman Batgirl scene. Did they think anyone would want to see that? Seriously. And we'll never, as far as I know, we'll never be able to just ask. But it would be nice to be able to just ask questions of these things sometimes, like, who makes that call? And then I would ask them, okay, you made that call. Anyone that would have, did you think that would go down with fans? What fan likes that? I guess maybe there are some. I don't know if I'd call them a fan, but I just. And they do a lot of other horrible shit, like when they finally did bring back a version of Batman the Animated Series, or at least so-called a sequel movie to it. That stupid Harley Quinn, when they did, it was disgusting. And I suppose, based upon our ages, when it comes to comics, we all have our cutting off points or jumping on points or jumping back on and off points or whatever. Mine are pretty old. Scratchman by Tom Baker. Wow. Wonder how that is. I seem to remember hearing about that, Max, but I don't think I'm not. I love Tom Baker, but isn't that a novel he wrote? If I'm calling that right. No. Oh well. By the way, did anyone watch Hawkeye? Hawkeye dropped today, 2 episodes. I was wondering if anybody else even bothered to look at it. Please do, Max. Please do. Let's see. Clobberin Times. Did you ever see Batman Beyond Return of the Joker animated movie? And if so, what did you think of it? Yes, I did, and I liked it. I liked Batman Beyond. I mean, not as much as the animated series, but I liked it. And it was, I thought it was a little bit stretchy, trying to find some way to bring the Joker back, and using Timmy Drake was pretty dark, but it was good. You did a good job with it, and it was pretty cool. I like it. We'll probably review that one day. Loki and myself, hopefully. Eric K, what's up? The great Eric K's here, brother. Hey. New Teen Titans and Daring New Adventures of Supergirl was my jumping on point just before the original Crisis. Yes, New Teen Titans, of course, was gigantic. I remember just sales going through the roof on that series. Troy, The Wolfman and Perez New Teen Titans was a great comic for many years. Now that Daring New Adventures of Supergirl, I think I bought a couple, but I got to admit I wasn't big on Carmen Infantino's work at that point. I love Carmen Infantino, his older stuff. At that point, I wasn't really that big on his art. I got to be honest with you. But I do remember the book well, and I'm glad you're talking. Well, I'm a pre-crisis kind of guy. I got to say, I'm not a big Crisis fan. Let's see. Chris says, Hawkeye. You mean the Kate Bishop show? I decided to give it a hard pass. Let's see here. Hawkeye. It's not even worth the bandwidth for me, says Troy. Let's see. Howard Aldrin was the best Hawkeye. Yes. Well, Batman Beyond and Justice Unlimited were great additions to the. Yes, I agree. I love the. It would take a while to explain. I had some reservations with the Justice League / Justice League Unlimited cartoons when they first started. I didn't want to watch them for various reasons, but I got dragged kind of kicking and screaming to watching them, and I love them both. I love them. True, Carmen's art wasn't the best in Supergirl, but I got every single issue, and that led me to Superman in Jail. Oh, cool. Glad to hear it. I do love that Supergirl costume. That's probably my favorite of her costumes. Right before the dumb one that she died in Crisis. I like the one before that, So, Hawkeye, folks. I watched both episodes. All I can really tell you is I don't know. While it's true that 2 episodes are difficult to judge, but it took me by one episode of Falcon Winter Soldier, I was pretty much angry. I watched it all, but I was pretty fed up at the end of the first episode. And it just went up and down, and usually really far down, and turned out to be really bad. And I hated it. WandaVision started out mildly interesting, and it just kind of went downhill. Loki was terrible pretty much the whole way. Black Widow is a big blah. Shang-Chi is not very good. The Eternals is horrible. I stopped halfway through What If. I think I've covered all the Marvel MCU stuff for the year, haven't I? I think that's all of it until Spider-Man. Well, now you have Hawkeye. And the only reason I would even consider watching it is because I do like Jeremy Renner a lot as Hawkeye. It's funny because he's nothing like the comic book Hawkeye in terms of his looks and everything, but I like him in that role. Here's what I'll say about the first 2 episodes so far. It doesn't have a lot of the really, really, in your face woke trash that Falcon and Winter Soldier do. So far, because there are only 2 episodes. Didn't have that yet. Jeremy's, it's good to see him. I got to admit, so far, I don't mind. I'm not a fan. I never cared about Kate Bishop. I didn't read her comic. I got nothing for her. I would just rather see a show about Hawkeye, but this is the MCU. This is what they're going to do. So far, I don't mind that actress. I think their story really shows me that even if they don't become annoying, this is going to be a very draggy-ish, drag face story. The first 2 episodes only serve to make me want to give it 1 or 2 more to see what happens, but I'm not hopeful. It was not thrilling. It was not particularly interesting to me. It just wasn't bad. I mean, I'm with J-Man. It wasn't bad yet, and it may not ever get bad, but it's just not really, what I would want them to do with this character. Renner's good. It's good seeing him. I understand this is about him training, this girl, or working with this girl. Hello there, John. JPRPH1, John. I understand that's what they're doing. Unfortunately, it's not a decision I would make. I wish they weren't doing that. But actually, she's okay. I mean, actually, right now, I don't mind her. In terms of the actress, is pretty good. And she's not really, she's not a Mary Sue or anything that yet. In other words, I would have to say, so far, again, they could easily go way off the rails. But if I have to give them a little credit, it does seem like they're just trying to tell a story about her getting started, an origin story about her, rather than a lot of in-your-face wokey crap that we saw with the other ones. So far. Yeah, J-Man, I'm with you. I mean, Falcon and Winter Soldier pissed me off. I hate it. It's a piece of trash. And so did What If and Loki. I'm right there with you. WandaVision to me was mostly just disappointing. At the end, it really pissed me off. But so far, hello there, Darius Munchausen. Welcome, my friend. So these 2 parts of Hawkeye were, if they didn't have Jeremy Renner, who is just, somebody you just like to see, you want to see what's going to happen with him, she's okay. The story seems lacking. There were some draggy, dull parts that tell me that this is going to be dragged out and not be particularly interesting, but I didn't hate it yet either, if that makes any sense to you. I've never watched, Killel says, I've never watched WandaVision since I don't subscribe to Disney Plus, but I did enjoy the one clip of the show that was all the Commodore 64 computers. I don't put it to you like this. I have access to someone else's code because I would never subscribe to it either. The worst I'll do is give it a view on someone else's code. My daughter has a subscription, so let the cat out of the bag. Otherwise, I would not go out of my way because it's easy. I watch it. If it wasn't easy, I wouldn't go out of my way. So far, where I'm at with Hawkeye is I'll watch the next one, and if it doesn't get me all that motivated to watch the third one, then I won't bother. But I've seen every single thing from the MCU or MCU now, every one of them, except in the middle of What If, after about 3 episodes, when I watched that garbagey, shitty Doctor Strange episode, it pissed me off so much. I was done. And then I learned that the next episode was going to be Marvel Zombies, and I hate Marvel Zombies. And then I was really done and did not bother. I have no interest in watching the rest of What If. That said, I've seen every other thing that they produced for the Marvel MCU when it was that, and now the MCU. And I'll watch Spider-Man, but other than that, I don't know. Not thrilled. I don't know how long I'll hang around. J-Man says, I like Kate so far. She actually looks up to Hawkeye and doesn't think she is better, and that she is having trouble training. She's not just the best. Right. That's exactly why I held on to it. She's treating him with respect. I mean, all the other men in this thing are stupid, but that's MCU for you. She has some abilities, but she's not perfect. She got into trouble. She's not acting like Miss Know-It-All. I mean, she's I don't mind her too much. And I like the actress. She's a good actress. I'm with you. What If is so garbage. It's bad on its own terms. And since I hate Marvel Zombies, I was like, you know what? I don't need to watch that. Monkey Jeebus, good to see you, buddy. So, I don't know, man. I really just wish it was a show about Jeremy Renner, but if they can make a good show with the two of them together and the characters are treated well, because I never touched a comic book with Kate Bishop, never had any interest in it. It opens in a pretty annoying manner. That Rogers the Musical crap, that was almost enough to make me want to turn it off. That was not funny. It was stupid. Ugh. But it doesn't. So far, they're not disrespecting the character of Hawkeye. And I say so far because this is the MCU. I don't even know how many episodes there are going to be. Steve Mitchum, what's up, bro? Says, I haven't watched anything since Endgame, and I don't plan to. Well, that is a good plan. That is a sensible plan that I think most people should probably undertake. Sure, I know I should. But, but for the most part, I am going to give Spider-Man a shot, but I'll go to the theater and watch it. That's about all I can say. I actually have no excitement for that one. No excitement. In fact, I may not even go to the theater to watch Spider-Man. Snail Messiah, what's up, dude? Snail Messiah, good to see you. What says, oh no, I just read the news. Some people are complaining that Danish history is too white and that the museums have war loot on the shelves. I think I have found the newest writer for He-Man. I have not seen that. I don't have an opinion there, Snail Messiah, but I do have one opinion, and that is that I am glad to see you. But that is weird, wild stuff, as the kids say. The kids don't really say that. Johnny Carson said it, but and I was watching. Yesterday was, of course, the anniversary of my beloved Doctor Who. And of course, this past week we had a big roundtable gathering of Doctor Who fans. So I celebrated yesterday and today by watching some Doctor Who that I actually love. Okay, J-Man. Yeah, so any Doctor Who fans did you celebrate? That'd be my question to you. I love Revenge of the Cybermen. Yeah, that is a classic, especially when Tom Baker yells, "Harry Sullivan is an imbecile." Kal-El says, I haven't watched anything from the MCU since Far From Home. I called it Far From Good. I hated that movie. I can't stand that one at all. Skipped Captain Marvel. Good man. Very sensible. Skip the hell out of that one. Skip it all now. Hell, skip it all. Yesterday, J-Man, I watched The 11th Hour, which I love. Today, I watched Night of the Doctor and Day of the Doctor, the 50th anniversary. And D-Bud, hey, Team Pertwee all the way, brother. I love Pertwee. If I had to pick a favorite Pertwee episode, it would be Terror of the Autons. Makes me want to go watch that one again right now. Reverse the polarity of the neutron flow. Yeah, but I remember what I had. I remember why I had a crush on Nicola Bryant. Well, who didn't, Elagabellis? I mean, yeah, she was fantastic. Who didn't, brother? I love her. But yeah, but you know, I'm Jesus. I'm watching it. So I'm watching a couple episodes. And again, these were new. I mean, I love I do lean more towards classic Who, but yesterday I was watching, like I said, watching the 11th Hour, today I was watching Night of the Doctor, Day of the Doctor. And I mean, even watching those, okay? You remember just how much, even a lesser episode during either one of those eras, Smith, Tennant, or whatever, still showed love and respect for the show. And the doctors they showed are the only doctors there ever were. I like Liz Shaw as well. You know, I'm kind of torn up on that with J-Man. I kind of wish Liz would stay, but I love Joe. And we all know they said that they got rid of Liz because she was, and this was not a good reason. I understand that, because she was so smart. They needed Joe there who didn't have the scientific knowledge, so the doctor could explain things to her. That was kind of the reason. There was, you know, read into that what you may. Revelation of the Daleks with Colin Baker. Interesting episode there. But I do love Liz Shaw, but I fell in love with Joe. I fell in love with Joe Grant. And how great is Terror of the Autons when you have the beginning of, the debut of Joe Grant and the Master. And the return of the Autons, of course, the Nestine intelligence. That's a great one. I like the unit years. They were really great. Yeah. Steve. Yeah. So I'll probably watch a few. Yeah, Roger Delgado is the masterman. He's the best, in my opinion. I love Anthony Ainley, but, I'll probably watch a few more before we get out of this Doctor Who cycle a little bit and go watching something just to, I don't know, it's just fun going back to it. And again, but it just reminds me of, obviously, again, I love the classic Who the best, but going back to some of those, to, like I said, with the 50th anniversary and to some of those other Doctors, it just reminds me of, it's really only been when it's the span almost a decade now, 8-9 years or so since those ran, that it was fun to look forward to a new Doctor Who. J-Man. Yeah, we'll do Spider-Man. Absolutely, J-Man. It'll be fun to review if nothing else. So yeah, have a great night, buddy. I appreciate you. Elagabalus says, did Davros make appearances to the new Doctor Who? He certainly did. Quite a few, actually, Elagabalus. Yeah. Stolen Earth. And then, no, what was that second part of that one? The Stolen Earth, and whichever one was part two of that episode, which eludes me for the moment. But also there were some other ones. Snail Messiah asks, am I the only one here who was a Beetle Bailey fan? I had every Danish issue from #1 through 700 before I stopped collecting. So apparently you're telling me they compiled them into regular like comics, which they did here as well. I mean, Beetle Bailey is a strip, but it was also in comics form as well. And I used to read the strip. Can't say I had any of the comics, Snail Messiah, but I'll bet you D-Bud was, had some of those. Elagabalus, you never saw any New Who? Well, from 05 till about 13, it was a pretty watchable, fun show with flaws, but pretty damn good, I thought. I'm more in the classic, but Oliver Belamonte says, Clobby, when Spider-Man No Way Home comes out in cinemas, the Spidey fans will have a difficult choice. Which Spider-Man will they be rooting for? Could be, you never know with that, Oliver, because this could be a situation where they're teasing everyone and you really don't get to see the other Spider-Man, versions, iterations all that much. Oh yeah, like I said, they did do Beetle Bailey comics. I don't know if it was Charlton or whoever, but yeah. But of course, I just mainly remember it from the strip, though, D-Bud. I mean, I've seen the comics, but I don't. I never bought any, and again, I just always remember the strip. So yeah. So there you go. Stewart says, Tom Baker season 6 will be the next classic Doctor Who to be released on Blu-ray this Christmas. Yes, that'll be starting off with Destiny of the Daleks, if I remember correctly. So yeah, looking forward to that, says. So, let's see. I'm trying now. Again, this is just like an open, just you and me talking type of a stream here tonight. So, does anyone, because I'm thinking of some different topics, comic related topics, to do on my Monday nighters coming in the future. And if anybody has anything comics wise you'd like me to cover, or I mean, it could be anything just connected to comics. If it's something that I think I can do, we'll look into it. I mean, I know there are only 52 Mondays in the year. It seems like a lot, I guess. I'm thinking in the next couple of weeks in December, of course, I'll do my my Clobberin Times Comics Creators Hall of Fame Part 3. Will be coming out in a couple of weeks in December. Maybe let me see if I can try to get that ready for the 1st of December. Maybe I'll do that. More like unconsciousness, buddy, but yeah. Dell, Gold, Keith, Charlton had Beetle Bailey. There you go. So apparently it was so big, Beetle Bailey, that there were Danish reprints of them. Good to know. I used to watch the Beetle Bailey cartoon. My favorite episode when Beetle's army buddies open a fortune cookie and it says, "Beware, Beetles will bring you bad luck." Okay. I don't think I ever got to see the cartoon there, Oliver. I mean, that I recall, I don't remember if I've ever seen the animated of that. So cool. Good to hear of it. Troy Pacelli, how about a look at Justice League International? Are you talking about the Jamie DeMatteis, Kevin Maguire run of the early 80s? I mean, the late 80s, I'm sorry. That's doable. Probably a reprint of listen to me. A review of the early issues of that, perhaps, Troy? Not a bad idea. That was a good series. Kal-El says, have you ever Have you ever heard of and or read the Batman comics that ran in newspapers from number 80 from November 89 to January 90? I remember reading them until my newspaper stopped running them. Yes, Marshall Rogers did some of those. And there was a magazine back then in comic shops called Comics Review. And they would Comics Review would reprint a lot of the weekly comic strips. There were syndicated strips, not all of them, but a lot of them. And I remember when they were putting that Batman strip in there. So yeah, there was a good Batman strip in papers, syndicated paper. And again, the great Batman artist Marshall Rogers did it for a while. I have some of those comics reviews that reprinted those. I would love to get. I would love to see a book that puts all of those together. So yes, I would love to get them all, Kal-El. I do definitely remember it. That was great stuff. Rascally Roy Thomas isn't in yet, right? Isn't in. Maybe not yet, Phantom Outsider, but you never know. Yes, Guy Gardner, Blue Beetle, one punch. One punch. Let's do it, Steve Mitchum. You want to do it one night? If you want to do it maybe one night in December, it doesn't have to be on a Monday night for that. That can be a Wednesday night, wild card Wednesday night. Because Wednesday night can either be like what I'm doing now, just hanging out with you guys, talking to you, or I can, it's open, it's wild card. So it could also have a topic. It varies. It's versatile, so which is what it's for. Last episode of season 4 of Tenant Run was Journey's End. That's right. Yeah, it was Runaway. Excuse me, Stolen Earth, Journey's End. Thank you. Snail Messiah says Beetle Bailey is huge in DK. Okay, new issue every 2 weeks, along with other strips in it. Huge collector's edition books. The cover art is amazing in DK. Same draw style, but made so beautiful. Wow. I did not know that. Snail, I did not know it was that big over there. Thanks for the info. I love hearing about, what are the popular comics, strips, books, whatever, in other countries. And I had no idea Beetle Bailey, which has been around forever, was still big anywhere. Man, in fact, I haven't looked at a newspaper in so long. I couldn't tell you whether it was even nationally syndicated anymore. I assume it is, but I don't know. But that's fantastic. Thank you, Snail, for the info on that. Any info about, anything good like that, doing well, I'm glad to hear about it. Kal-El says, I'd love to see them collected in a trade paperback. Me too, referring to those Batman strips myself. But I'd buy them twice if we're available digitally as well. I would as well. The one thing I can tell you is if you can track down some of those old comics reviews, I think from either the, late 80s or early 90s. I don't know how many issues they were in. I think I bought them all. I probably have them somewhere, buried somewhere. I know I wouldn't throw them out for no reason, so I'm probably buried somewhere. I probably still have them. I don't know if Comics Review reprinted all of those strips or not. But if you can dig up some Comics Review, Kal-El, and I'll look in to see if I can dig up some. If you can find some out there, I'm sure they don't sell for very much. I wouldn't think so. I used to collect it all the time. In fact, you know what? Let's look for some comics review while we're doing nothing in particular tonight. Let me see here, because that was a good mag. I liked it. Comics review. Been on for a good while too. Find some pictures of it so you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's look. Don't spread any nasty rumors, Eric. Okay, I don't know this Clobberin Tom's guy you speak of. Good to see you, brother. All right, let's see here. Let's take a look at some comics review. All right. Okay. This is Comics Review Mag. I bought it for a good while. That's a. Wait a minute. What is that? That says for 2021. Oh, that's okay. That's Comics Review presented. That must be some kind of big trade paperback because that's a big price on there. Comics Review presents with Flash Gordon reprints. This is interesting. These must be new reprints. Comics Review presents. Wow. Here's what a regular issue looked like. Although, I don't know. It ran from 1984 to 2019, looks like. Phantom Outsider. Cool. Kamloops, what's up, brother? That 70s rock fan. What is happening with your cool vibes, bro? Excuse me. Snail Messiah says, I think it's because military service is mandatory in Denmark, so everyone has been in the army, and the comic is about the army. Then parents have them around, and their kids pick them up. And I believe he's speaking in reference to Beetle Bailey, which we were talking about for those who didn't know. Well, that's fascinating to know there, though, Snail Messiah. I appreciate that. I love learning stuff like that. Anything, I have no idea. That's amazing. Because, like I said, I haven't even thought about Beetle Bailey in a long time. Like, I have not looked at a newspaper in forever. Look at all these Comics Review. I guess these are trade paperbacks or something. Wow. There's an annual. Here's some of the regular issues. I mean, because it wasn't 1999 when it came out before. Let me see. Let me see what the Batman issues look like. I'm sure we have some here. There you go. It's not a big enough cover. Yep. There you go. I don't know if you can see that one. Let's see here. Oliver says, The Incredible Hulk complete TV series starring Bill Bixby is out on Blu-ray. Did it just come out? Oliver, is that newly come out, you mean? Because I thought it was out on DVD. I didn't know about Blu-ray, but cool. Good show. Snail. Oh, I can send you an issue if you want, Mr. Oh, an issue? I mean, that would be probably pretty expensive to do something like that, Snail Messiah. So please don't go to any trouble to do something like that. But I tell you what, I am absolutely honored by your offer and touched by it. I appreciate you, but I wouldn't want you to spend that kind of cash or anything like that, my friend. But I do appreciate that. That is very kind of you. I really do. Zax, you Hulk villain. What's up, dude? Let's see here. Just looked it up. It turns out all of the strips were reprinted, but all of them were. Well, that's good. So here's one of them right here. As you can see what the magazine looked like. When did this one come out? Let's see. Let me see something. Get a ballpark of when they came out with this issue here. Where is you? I bought this magazine every now and then when they had like when they had the Spider-Man, they had some fandom strips, they had Flash Gordon. So I bought it often. And then when they put Batman in there, and so, again, some of them are by Marshall Rogers. Oh, look at that. There you go. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, those covers are really nice. Well, Steel Messiah. I mean, look at I again. It's such a gracious offer. I would never, ever insult you by turning it down. I'm just telling you that you would never have to do anything like that. You say I give you all so much. Nah, you give me a lot by hanging out with me and hang. And I really appreciate you being here. But your offer is too kind. I have an email in my description below, an email address below. If you just alert me if you do send an email to that, and I can get together, with the info on that. I'm bad about checking it, but I'm getting better, a little bit better. But you are too kind. I really appreciate that, sir. Let's see here. Look at that issue. Yeah. Yeah, I remember I was really excited when I read about this, when they were going to start putting the Batman comics in there. I have this one. I have most of the Batman ones. So yeah, Comics Review was damn good. I liked it a lot. I haven't thought about this in ages. I probably still have a bunch of them too. I'm glad you brought that up. Cal, was it Cal? Yeah. They should do a trade on these though. Now, I know Marshall Rogers. Let me see if I can find some of his art on that. I know Marshall Rogers did a lot of them. I don't know if he did them all. The late great Marshall Rogers, who was, of course, did the definitive Batman and Detective comics. Let's see here. I'm gonna find. Let's see if we can find those. What those look like. Marshall Rogers. Oops. Batman comic strip. There were a lot of Batman comic strips in the world. Oh, here we go. Look. And they have, I would just love to see a big, gigantic reprint of this. How about an omnibus of these? What do you think? Mark D with a C. What's up, dude? What you doing, bro? What's going on, man? Good to see you. So, Cal, have you seen these? Has anyone seen these strips? Marshall Rogers, man, was just a great. I mean, he was one of the definitive Batman artists. I have some of those old 50s Batman collections from the strips from the 50s and 60s and stuff, of course. So yeah, bagging and boarding comics, eh? Yeah. Well, that's cool stuff right there. I'm glad you brought. I hadn't thought about that in a while there, Kal-El. Thanks for bringing that up. We got the greatest crowd here. You guys bring up like, just something out of the blue like that. It goes, oh, let me check into that. These are awesome. Though. These are great stuff. Let's see here. Yeah, what a great Batman artist he was. This past Monday night, of course, my 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 wonderful friend Purple Valkyrie and I, we were talking about the works of Alan Moore. I think pretty soon I'm going to review. Hopefully, I'm going to get. I think I've talked to Mr. Max von Priestley, who's a very cool dude, about reviewing the Alan Moore Superman stories. Not just his last one, but the last one. But I think I'm going to see if he wants to review all three of them. One's a two-parter, but the stories themselves 3. And I think I'll check to see if he wants to do that, and that will be coming up soon. But if anyone else think of anything with regards to the comic show, really, I mean any other topic, it doesn't have to be the comic show, because again, I have two free-floating shows. One that's comics, but you could, it can be multiple topics, of course. Then I have Wednesday night. As you can see tonight, I'm just using it to hang out with you all because I want to do that sometime. At least once a month, I like to just come in and hang out with you guys. Don't need a topic. Well, anything goes. Just you and me, kid. And then, but I have the wild card there for a reason, so we can throw a topic when we have to. Yeah, Mark D, those Superman strips I have a bunch of those as well. That is a very good timing for that. Troy, that's probably when we'll do it. Obviously not exactly at Christmas. If Max can make it, or if not, maybe I'll do it myself. I'll see, because he's the one that mentioned to me first. Or he and I might do, I don't know. I won't nail down who will do For the Man Who Has Everything with me. I might leave that open, but if I'll just leave Max and I for sure will do Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. So maybe we'll split those up. We'll just do those together. But I love For the Man Who Has Everything. And Troy, I got to tell you, even though I love Justice League Unlimited, I did not like the way they adapted that at all. I'm very particular about that story. Well, I'm very particular about adaptations in general. And I'm not very forgiving on adaptations that screw with things. Just not. No use pretending. I'm not. Just not. I'm not very tolerant of it when you adapt something and you screw around with it too much. I still love Justice League International. Excuse me. Well, the comic, yeah. But Justice League Unlimited cartoon, I didn't like the way they did it at all. Didn't like the way they adapted it at all. They screwed with stuff that they did not need to screw with. It was that story is perfect. And I like that, again, it's just that one episode. I almost would rather they had not adapted it. Phantom, I know it wasn't terrible, but, well, by normal standards, but it was terrible to me because I wanted it to be adapted perfectly. I wanted it needed to be word for word, to be quite honest. And it did have a lot of the dialogue from the comic, but they screwed around with some stuff that all I know is every time I watch it, I cringe. Troy, dude, you got to come on and hang with me and talk comics one night, brother. We'll do it on a Monday night. No pressure when you can do it. And just a casual comics chat. What about that? Eric Roberts voiced Mongol in the Justice League cartoon War World for the Man. Oh, was it Eric Roberts? Okay, cool. Excellent, Troy. Excellent. Was that Eric Roberts? Wow. Well, he was still badly cast as the Master. Yes, sir. But look, I still love that cartoon. No question about it. So what's another one? Obviously, our Monday night show was named after our dear departed wonderful friend Mark C. And he and I had planned, we kept talking about it and putting it back, but pushing it back, but talking about it. We've done a couple of reviews already. We were going to do Simonson's Store Run, and now I don't know if I'll ever do that just because it was we had that planned, but I still want to go back to doing a lot of reviews of comics. Just as Loki and I are going to review, the Batman and Superman animated. Our next one that Loki and I are going to do, by the way, is Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. I got to check with him. I don't know if we're doing it on my channel or his, but yeah, but the thing is, it gets out of control because you think, I want to review that. Oh, I want to review this one. Oh, I want to review that one. And all pretty much they're piled up. I'm like, I don't know what to review next. Last year when I first moved over here, Mark C and I reviewed Justice by Alex Ross and Jim Kruger. We reviewed The Coming of Galactus by You Know Who. And then we just started doing some other things, but we always meant to get back to doing some reviews of stuff. And I want to get back to doing that at least maybe once every couple of months, once every 2 months, or once every month if possible. Just a classic comic, go back and just revisit something great. But we had a lot of other shows we did too. We did our top 25 comic book artists, our top 25 comic book covers. That was brutal to pick only 25 of those. We even did one where he picked all of his favorite guilty pleasure movies. That was fun. Man, I miss him. But Simonson Thor, that was one we kept talking about. It was the one he wanted to do the most. So, and I'll probably never do it because I don't want to do it by myself. I'll read it again one of these days, but that was something you want to do. But I will do comic book reviews again. As you can see, this is Marshall Rogers' Batman. This is a strip, but he also did what they call the definitive Batman. Detective Comics, the short run of Detective Comics he did with Steve Englehart and Terry Austin that got labeled the definitive Batman, which was in the late 80s. Late 70s. I'm definitely going to be reviewing that pretty soon. Englehart and Rogers and Austin Batman is really pivotal to launching Batman's popularity even beyond what it was, because that was it's funny, that was really what kind of got Hollywood to sort of take note a little bit. A lot of people don't know this. They think it was Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, which certainly, did, elevate it Batman into the, it probably got the 89 movie made, but the fact is there were some scripts floating around before that because of this run by Englehart, Rogers, and Austin. There was a Tom Mankiewicz script for sure. I've read it. And it was mostly inspired by Englehart and Rogers before Miller did his thing with Batman. And it was referred to, it's critically acclaimed and always referred to the quote, the definitive Batman. Hey, Glenzer, good to see you. Hell, Batman the Animated Series even partially adapted this story. They combined it with two stories, but yeah. Good to see you all. Thank you. Good to see you, Glenzer. Thank you. Yes, all hail Mark C. And so I think and it's only like 6 issues or something. I think in the coming year I'm going to review that. And again, I'll take suggestions. And for example, Troy mentioned earlier that a suggestion of reviewing Justice League International might be a good idea. And I do think it is. That was a pretty good comic. One punch. still so much out there that's great that hasn't been reviewed or that hasn't. I mean, you know, at least not my way anyway. So, yeah, I think that this will be one I do soon. Who knows? If I get somebody to do the Great Darkness Saga with me, I might get Lord Thoth. I know you're not out there at the moment, Thoth, but I'll tell you later. Lord Thoth and I are planning on. We were going to do it this Monday night, but I don't think we can. But there's going to be a Monday very soon, where in the next month he's going to let me know where he's going to come on. We're going to talk Legion of Superheroes again because I haven't really been able to do that since we did our Legion of Superheroes roundtable back in what was it, March or April or whatever, somewhere up in there, May, I don't know. So I got a Monday night where Thoth and I are just going to talk Legion of Superheroes love because we love it. By the way, Mark D, I saw your video. Cool video today, dude. I'll maybe we can as soon as I get a chance to read that comic, we can both talk about it if you want. Or that first issue anyway. And Claude sent me a different cover, by the way. You got me a different cover than you have. That's why I hate multiple covers. Oh, stop with the variants. Jesus Christ. Marvel, DC, you're garbage anyway, granted, but I mean, just stop with the friggin' covers. Oh my God, man. And now they got a new Orville comic. I'm so behind on the Orville comics. I wish I hadn't got behind on those things. And they're pretty good too. They had been good anyway. But there's a topic I wanted to do. Maybe with I don't know if I'll do it on the Global Geek Gang or not. But in addition to reviewing classic runs of comics, what I'm going to ask certain old time comics fans is what comic book saga or story or run would you like to see faithfully, and you got to use the words in big bold capital neon letters, all right, faithfully adapted into an animated film, not a live action film. Okay, look, I'm sick of live action comics, comic book movies, to be honest with you. I know some of them are okay, but it's like these DC animated films are so bad now, but that's so frustrating because they did well. They did some of them very well. They did some good ones. And now they've adapted some popular stories and turned them into crap. They were terrible adaptations. New Frontier was one they really did a great job on. But they just screwed up so many others. That'd be a good one, Phantom Outsider. Do it as a saga or something. Hell yeah. This one here, this Englehart Rogers Batman, if they adapted that properly, it didn't change a damn thing. So again, it's a dream scenario thing. You get to choose what it is, and they get to make it to your specs. I would love to see the Great Darkness Saga animated film done, a long one, looking like the real deal Legion. I mean, don't change a damn thing visually. Yeah, that's a good one. JLA, JSA, the Seven Soldiers Victory. Oh my goodness, dude, good idea. Easy for D-Bud. For me, the initial Ramita run on Spider-Man. Oh God, yes. And again, animated. Kree Skrull War. That's a great one. Raymond, yeah. Look, dude, I'm be all over it. And again, the coming of Galactus. Imagine that. Or, how about it would be brutal, but what if instead of making that shitty Amazing Spider-Man 2 crap version of the Gwen Stacy, the deaths of Gwen Stacy, what if they did it and they adapted it to animated it faithfully? faithfully, make it look right. Because you can make it look right with animation. It's just easier. Good. Well, that's a good point, Phantom Outsider. That is. But I mean, like I say, since you get to make the call, you can, that's a change that if you want that done, that's one thing. Kal-El says, I may be in the minority here, but I'd love to see the Batman Nightfall, Night Quest, and Nights In saga adapted faithfully to the DCAU. Well, there you go. It wasn't my era. I didn't like any of that stuff, kind of, because I was at that point. I was very aggravated with DC. I didn't like Batman getting his back broken and all that stuff. But I can respect that. A lot of people liked it. It was popular. At least it was a comic. To me, it was a gimmick trying to mimic the Death of Superman thing, which was also a gimmick. But it was popular, and I would watch that with you. Kal-El, I'd watch it with you. Yeah. Troy says, I'm pretty sure the current Spider-Man film is going to be a one more day adaptation. Yeah. It does look a lot like it. You let Duplicate. Oh, man. You let Duplicate Boy join the Legion at the end. I got you. Didn't they do it in the in the 90s FF series? What, you mean Coming of Galactus? Maybe in that first season they did something like it, but it was that first season so bad, Raymond, I can't really remember. It's only the second season that was great. So I think they did have Galactus in that first season, but it's pukey. Ugh, it's terrible. So yeah, I would listen when it comes to FF. Obviously, the Coming of Galactus is obvious. We already have a close to perfect adaptation of the Inhuman saga. And a blind man shall lead them. But there are a couple of FF sagas that they could do well. For example, that needs to be redone. And, the comic that we reviewed last year. That Mark and I reviewed last year, Justice. If they adapted that and made it look just like the Alex Ross art, although he had help with my Doug Braithwaite, and adapted that story, that whole story, that would make for one hell of a killer animated movie. It would be beautiful. I mean, because these idiots adapted the Judas Contract but made it look like the Screw 52 Titans. That's a disgrace. That is disgusting. Screw off. I never was even a fan of Gotham by Gaslight, but when I heard what they did to the ending of that, it made me sick. Now, also, I heard they ruined Superman Red Sun. I can't even watch that. Ugh. And I'm not even big. I thought the Red Sun comic was a pretty decent Elseworld story. That is true, D-Bud. The 67 FF cartoon had some fairly faithful adaptation, or at least definitely took a lot from comics. There's no question about it. But now, another thing is, I really did like the DC animated film All-Star Superman adaptation because I love All-Star Superman. The only problem with that was it was movieized, so they had to cut a lot of the 12 issues out. There's just things missing. There's so much missing from it that would have been nice to see, but it's still very good, though. It's one of the good ones, in my opinion. Phantom Outsider says the Upper Man Batman World's Finest with composite Superman, as well as I think, and I'm sure you mean Superman, a follow-up, which also brought in the Legion to fight him, including Wildfire, who composite Superman didn't have the powers of. I'm with you. I'll take it. I heard the same thing about that one, Kal-El. Propaganda drivel, so screw it. You know what I would love to see done? And they did it in a well, let me think about that. I really like the Daredevil Netflix show a lot. I love it. And they sort of did a little bit of Born Again, but they botched it up. I mean, they stole a lot of Miller stuff, and they went all over the place and piecemeal picked from it. I'd love to see an animated adaptation straight from Miller's Born Again. That would be sweet. Obviously, one we were talking about earlier for the Man of Everything that needs to be done better. Whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow, fully animated adaptation of that done faithfully would be nice. Would be great. It would be beautiful. So much great material out there, and when they do it, when they do try to adapt it, they swipe pieces, and they just do a shitty job, and they leave all the best on the floor. I mean, they take whatever they want, and they leave the rest. It's just it's crud. But again, as mentioned, the Avengers, Defenders War, Kree Skrull War, like you guys say, all those would make fine stories. What about the Count Nefarious saga? I love Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but they they did the Michael Korvac saga, but they just didn't give it enough time to breathe. It was you can't do that in one episode. It was still good, but it should have been a lot longer. And I absolutely agree. This is a good one. Mark D with the C says, he'd love to see the Hercules miniseries by Leighton, but we'll never get that. No, that would be a great one to adapt. What about Defenders 22 to 25 versus Sons of the Serpent with guest stars Son of Satan, Yellow Jacket, Daredevil, Empowerment? I'd be game. See, that's what I'm talking about. Do animated stuff that adapts great stories and adapt them within their time, the prism of the time they came from. Them, make them look right. And they could just keep their live action crap. I would just love to see good animation of great comic stories. That's all I would need. JSA, Virtue and Vice, Sergeant Rock, Prophecy, Wonder Woman, Akita, sorry if I butchered it. Superman, Secret Identity, Batman, Arkham Asylum, Flash, Born to Run. Yeah, I liked Superman, Secret Identity. Arkham Asylum, I wasn't a big fan of that one, but it is very popular. And again, if they did it, I would watch it. I mean, even if they did a story I didn't like that much, if it were faithfully adapted, I would give it a shot. So good. Appreciate that, Oliver. That's what I'm talking about. Good suggestions. I agree. Kal-El, I really did like Batman Under the Red Hood. That was excellent. I haven't watched Death in the Family yet. I got to give it a shot, even though they say it's weird. You still has multiple endings. But Under the Red Hood, and that's one I went in not really wanting to watch. Didn't care. Didn't think I would like it, but it is really good. Really, really good. Well, that's the truth, Steve. Robert Pratt. Oh, man, that guy does amazing stuff. He's brilliant. It'd be cool to see the Sand Superman saga. The Sand Superman saga would be amazing. Oh, yeah. Hey, Brightest Day. What's up, dude? Good to see you, bro. Let's see. I always thought that the Birds of Prey TV series could have been a good show. Could have also tied into Batman Beyond. Yeah, I watched a little bit of that first one. Again, it just seemed a strange propensity to make Batman shows without Batman. Avengers versus Squadron Supreme and Invaders, Avengers 69 through 71. Yes. Nice. Brightest Day popping in there reminded me of what would be a great Green Lantern story. Do some adaptations of some of those Alan Moore short story Green Lanterns, of course, but also, maybe Rebirth and Green Lantern. I mean, not Rebirth. What was the one? When they brought Hal Jordan back, was that Rebirth or whatever was it? And then Sinestro Corps War. Max, have a good one, buddy. Max Redstone, everyone, you take care, bro. Have a great night. Well, they've done some good Green Lantern animated stuff already. Green Lantern animated series. Emerald Knights. That was great. I need to watch that again. That was really good. So I don't know. That would be a great idea to do some of that stuff. If we could just get them to fix those up. So your suggestions, there you go. What would be some other comics topics we could do? They don't have to be comics. What are the geek topics? Because again, we do the Star Trek, we do comics. We've done Doctor Who recently. What would be another, like a wild card Wednesday night topic? Now, Flash is going to come back eventually. We're going to do some more stuff. We're going to start doing some of our lists again when he can. I think we did movies and TV already. No, did we do TV? We did movies. Oh, shit. We didn't do TV yet. I don't think we did TV. I'm going to get on Flash. We're going to do TV when he gets back from his holidaying and stuff. Superman 164. The story that showed Lex was legit threat to Super and expanded Lex character, introduced planet Lexor, where Lex was a hero. Nice. Farscape. A Farscape show? Yeah, well, I like Farscape, but I've only seen it that one time. I haven't done a Blake 7 show in over a year when Problem Being came on and we talked about it a couple of times. Troy, are you a Blake 7 fan, Troy? Because I'm a Blake 7 nut job. I've been craving to do some Blake 7. Troy, the $6 Million Man. I love the $6 Million Man, and it's been a long time since I've watched it, Troy. But I would love to watch those again and deep dive on that. And Eric K, that's a great one. I don't know if anyone would care about a show about Blake 7 or $6 Million Man, or the one you just mentioned, Eric, The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. is one of my all-time favorite shows. I binge it every couple of years, and now I've been letting it sit a little. You know what? I'm going to start friggin' binging the hell out of that in the next couple of days and doing a show all about, let's give it some Briscoe love. Do we have anyone else that would even care about that? But Eric does and D-Bud, so there you go. Troy, do you know your Blake 7? Oh, Stuart, Blake. Oh, man, Stuart, are you in for a Blake 7 roundtable? Rogue Disney, hello there. Well, thank you for popping in. It's good to see you. Okay, if I can get enough people for the Blake 7 roundtable. But in the meantime, just like as a regular Wednesday night show, if you want to come on, Troy, and just talk Blake 7, and if a couple of you want to come on. Oh, man, dude, Troy, dude, if you can hang with me on Blake 7, brother, let's do it. You know, I also know some episodes by heart. See, there's the thing. Some stuff I'm into, it's tough to find someone that can hang with you. Now, again, look. When you have Star Trek, it's a lot easier to find people who can hang on Star Trek. Of course, nobody's greater at it than Raquel. And that's why we're the Star Trek soulmates, because we can hang on. When it comes to Trek, we can hang with each other. I got a lot of friends in my that I know in real life that can do it with Star Trek, but a lot of people can with Star Trek. Finding somebody on Doctor Who is you could find someone that really knows their Doctor Who. Comics, you could find someone that really knows their comics, like a lot of you guys do. Dark Shadow, what's up, dude? Dark Shadow Logan, great to see you, my friend. A lot of you here can hang big time on comics. Phantom, D-Bud, Troy, you obviously. A lot of you guys can. But Blake 7's tougher to find somebody who can hang in terms of can really talk about it in depth. Lord Thoth can, for example. He and I've done it. And so, Problem Being loves the show. My buddy Proby. Let's see here, fam. Briscoe, $6 man, Blake, through, and also I'm also planning on doing a show about. Okay, so look, Blake 7, Troy, we got to do it. I'm going to bug you in the next week or two and see if we can lock it down. If you want to come on and just have an impromptu Blake 7, we could do a roundtable. And Stuart, if you're game for something like that, again, I know time factors and all that stuff is an issue sometimes because everybody, I got to back my chat up a little bit because everybody's in different time zones and stuff. Stuart, I'm not sure about the roundtable yet, though, but I want to do that as well. But I just want just somebody who wants to talk some Blake 7, man. I'm just craving it. And Phantom can do all those too. Phantom, you have not come on yet, so if you want to come on one of these days, I'm gonna start watching Briscoe again soon. Let's see, I think I missed something. I'm trying to find. Oh, Glenzer said, do current comics dare even say the word Christmas? I don't know the answer to that. I would tend to doubt it, Glenzer, but I don't know. I got to be honest with you. All right, Mark D, just rub it in, why don't you, duder? I stick to deep fried turkey for Christmas. Dude, why don't you come on here and say that to my face, Mark D, what I say? Rubbing it in with that fried turkey. Oh, shit. It's probably particularly hard to find. Yeah, let's see. It's probably particularly hard to find someone who really knows Blake 7 here in the U.S. Probably the UK fans know it better. Well, the old timers. I know many in the U.S. that do, but of course, I don't discriminate them when it comes to borders, when it comes to Blake 7. Anybody who loves it. The Cabal is here, folks. That's right. We got Dark Shadow. We got D-Bud. We got me. The comic shop owner Cabal has reassembled. Oh, shoot. Mark, what are you doing, Mark? You still bagging comics or what, dude? Yeah, I love Julius Carey. Man, so looks like we'll have at least a few people interested in talking Briscoe as well. Aquaman, Death of Prince, Teen Titans Friends. Okay, Oliver's naming some comics he'd like to see adapted. Aquaman, Death of a Prince, Teen Titans, Friend of Foes, Constantine, Original Sins, Martian Manhunter Revelations, Green Arrow, Archer's Quest. There you go. So you'd like to see animated of those is what I'm guessing you mean there, Oliver. There you go. And I think everyone who is a comic book fan has a story that they would like to see adapted just in animation so they could see it, that comic that they loved moving around on the screen, but not necessarily done, Well, Mark, if you feel like popping in for a few minutes, you're welcome to, Duder. But like I said, I got a few more time to go. But if you're busy, don't worry about it. It's up to you. So I think the next roundtable is going to be Blake 7. But I might just do it on a Wednesday night. Then I got to figure out exactly how I'm going to do it. Wow. I got to figure out exactly the format. But yes, the next roundtable is going to be Blake 7. We've got the Doctor Who one done. We've got actually. All right, I take it back. Blake 7 maybe push back a little. We're still talking on the show. I might do like a night show where we talk and get Troy on here to talk about it. But I think the next Global Geek Roundtable, I'd forgotten that I've been pushing this off. I'm glad this jogged my memory, which is pretty crazy because I can't jog and my memory sucks. The next roundtable, it will probably be in December, but it's going to be for the 80th anniversary of Captain America. I think that might be the next Global Geek Gang Roundtable. I'm not sure how many Global Geek Gang shows I'm going to be able to do in December. Okay, dude, on my way. But let's see here. But I think that's going to be Captain America. There we go. Chris Persia, you have a great night, my friend, and thank you so much. The Stalag of Space. Oh, there you go. Stalag of Space, LHS history, and the Computo story that spoilers 50 years ago has Death of Triplicate Girl. Computo story would be great. Yeah. You know what? A show that I'd planned to do all year and talked about and still have not done that I need to do, by the way? There are a couple of them. All right. I need to do a show about Starlog Magazine. I've been talking about that forever. And I'm going to do again, just a, well, we don't do the deep dive stuff here because it takes too long. I'm going to do Starlog Magazine, though. And let's see here. What was the, canceled shows that no one, great, brilliant, but canceled. Great shows that did not last long enough. I'm sure everyone's got one. And, the low-hanging fruit, of course, is Briscoe and Firefly. Those are two of the big ones. But shows that didn't, that's another one I'm going to be doing eventually. All these plans, I got to start putting them more in stone. But I do think we're running out of year, so we're going to have to do that Captain America 80th anniversary show. Probably on a Global Geek Gang in a couple of weeks. In December. But so even though the Blake 7 roundtable might be pushed back a little bit, I'm still going to do a Blake 7 show at night. I guess Police Squad, love it. In color. Yeah, Police Squad, Voyagers, there you go. Kal-El says, I'd love to see you cover that magazine. I remember seeing them in bookstores all over in the 90s. Yeah, I started getting them in the 70s, and it was just so. I still have all my Starlogs, except for I had issue 1, and I gave it to a friend of mine as a present back in the 90s, I think. And I didn't buy it off the stand. I bought it later as a back issue, but I gave it to him. It's worth big now, but Kolchak's another one, brother. Shows that did not make it. Well, there's a blue. Then Kolchak just came out on Blu-ray, by the way. Remember that opening whistling? Sorry. I didn't mean to whistle on the air. Yes, I did. Yes. Hey, Latino Slant. Who you calling nerds? We're geeks, boy. Look at it, Latino Slant. What's up, Paulie, brother? What you doing, man? He had a big show on tonight, everyone. The great Latino Slant, y'all. What is up with your bad self, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. So I think Briscoe County, yeah, I'm going to do that next. Well, we're going to do a Blake 7 show. The next roundtable on Global Geek Gang will be Captain America. Yeah, Monkey Jeebus, that was great. And of course, again, next week, I think next week is when Loki and I will review Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. Banachek. Or Beretta. Yeah, but didn't Beretta last a few seasons? Banachek was short. Banachek didn't have a lot of episodes. Now, Phantom Outsider, you just now you're trolling me. Misfits of Science. Dude, what's wrong with you? You'll say Automan and Manimal next. Diggity tomato dude. See what's up, duder.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me on. Yeah.
Come on, man. I mean to put you out, but I thought I'd see if you wanted to hang for a bit.
No, it's great. Yeah, no, appreciate it. Yeah, and I was watching Big Sky with the wife, and then finished
I
that.
got you.
And then she said, you got too many comic books in this family room here. Because
So
you
move
start
'em.
you start throwing them around. So I'm like,
Yep.
better bag and board these, and well, get them out of here.
Paulie, dude, I'm open anytime to suggestions, buddy. When you want to come hang out, or either my place or yours, brother, as the kids say. Let's do a show, man. I miss you, buddy. I miss talking to you, man. So yes, I hear you, brother.
Hey, Paulie.
I think Banachek was only like one season, wasn't? That was a good show. George Peppard. But Beretta lasted a while. Yeah, you remember Beretta? Were you too young for Beretta? I remember
the cop show. It was a cop show, right? Yeah, Beretta.
Yeah.
I mean,
Robert Blake.
That was the 70s, right? Or
yeah,
late
Robert
70s.
Blake.
Yeah.
No one can forget Beretta because of that song. Don't do the crime if you can't do that. Sammy Davis Jr. song. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
Yeah. Well, of course, he ended up doing the crime and the time.
He did.
Robert Blake, right? Yep.
Yeah, he did. He did the crime, did the time. Or did he do the time? I don't know. Paulie, you got to name the time, bro. I'm there. I'm always there, buddy. So Beretta was 3 seasons. Keep your eye on the sparrow. Yep. So, and he had that bird, Fred. He had the parrot. Yeah. So
I barely remember that.
You got to be old.
Just from growing up around that time, you just remember, kind of remember the show. It's like you mentioned Happy Days to kids today. They're like, Happy Days, what, and then back in the 70s, that was, 80s, that was the biggest thing going, right?
They don't know that one. Yeah, you're right. Even though that was huge. But what about Banachek? You remember that one? That might be
I don't remember that one, no.
George Peppard, 1 season. It was a cool show. It was wasn't that Dark Shadow, wasn't Banachek in the NBC mystery movie like Columbo and McMillan and Wife? And Columbo and McMillan and Wife were the big ones, but they had a couple of others. Oh, they had McLeod. McLeod, that was a great show.
Yep.
I love McLeod with Dennis Weaver. Yeah.
Well, Big Sky that I've been watching with, you always try to find things you can watch with your significant other. So it's like a murder mystery set out west. I think it's set in Colorado. So it's, gorgeous scenery. And it's got the 2 most gorgeous private detectives I've ever seen in TV. So I always joke with the missus about that. It's like, wow, I'd love to go to that detective agency. Watch what you're saying. We're joking, but no, it's actually based on the Highwayman book. I'm trying to remember the author's name, but it's been pretty. It's standard. Private eye cop fare, and you've got some kidnappings and mysteries and twists, and some characters actually get killed that you want suppressed, expect to get killed. So it's surprising. I was trying to say surprising. It's surprising in some ways, but it's pretty. Yeah, it's a fun.
That's that's a current show or something.
Yeah, current show. Yep. So it's on Hulu. Yep.
Oliver says, "Let's see, Doom Patrol Red, Jack. Okay, I vaguely remember that. Legion of Superheroes, great. Darkness Saga, yes. Kingdom Come, yep. That would be a great one. Swamp Thing Anatomy Lesson, they should do that, but they should do some of the go beyond that with the more issues. I'm with you. And then I do remember Suicide Squad, Janus Directive. If you're thinking of the Ostrander run, so I think, but yes, he was just still naming some stuff that he would like to see adapted.
Has anyone watched the latest season of Doom Patrol? I watched the first few. First season was probably the best, I think. But God, that was a crazy show. But God bless him for trying to adapt that. But I haven't watched the 3rd season yet. I don't know if anyone in the chat has watched that or like that. I wonder if. And of course, you had the Titans. I'm rolling my eyes, but you can't see as I'm mentioning that.
Screw that noise. Yeah.
That was not good.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You ever watch Briscoe County Jr.?
No, I'm trying to catch up on Blake 7, so I'm only on episode 7 of Blake 7, so I gotta maybe watch some tomorrow. But and I've heard it's good. So yeah, that's only the 1 season, right? Only
barely 1 season. Captain Cockney number Spock, what's up, dude? Yeah, see, that pissed me off so bad when they canceled that.
Yep.
I wouldn't watch anything on Fox for the longest time. I was so mad at him, and that was when X-Files was just starting out.
So you never watched X-Files then?
I watched some later, but I mean, at the time, no, I was so mad. I wasn't going to watch anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have that complete set. The DVD. I don't even know if they've ever done a Blu-ray of it there, Eric. But again, every 2-3 years, I take it out and just watch them all over again. And then after I do, I'm like so sad it's over. I get to go into withdrawal. I mean, again, it's bittersweet because I love while I'm watching it. I know it's going to end soon, 22, 23 episodes. And it ended. Again, it's not a lot of shows didn't end back then, as you know. They just, I mean, they stopped. They didn't end. They stopped.
They never did a final episode. Yeah, that's kind of a new phenomenon, I would say, right? Where they,
pretty much because they didn't know they were canceled.
Maybe MASH was one of the first ones I remember as a kid, right?
Well, they had
that.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah,
they had like a final episode.
The Fugitive did, but mostly they. Well, some did. Barney Miller did. A lot of them did, but a lot of them didn't. And this was one that was. There's a line at the end. Well, we'll be back after a brief hiatus. They say that line because they're breaking the fourth wall like they did every now and then. And that
nope.
But it was a crazy show because again it's fantasy, science fiction, Western, stuff, basically. I guess you may or may not know. I don't even know if you know that, but it's not just a Western show.
They've got some fantasy element. No, I can't.
Yeah, it's a science fiction
I've watched
Western.
One episode, but
it's science fiction.
Check it out. Yeah.
And what the thing about it was, I love Bruce Campbell. I'm a big fan of his. This is easily for him my favorite role he's ever done because as great as the guy is, Jack of all trades was kind of, I don't know, wasn't the opening song, like the opening credits is the best thing about Jack of all trades. That's hilarious. The show's kind of just over the top goofy, but it was all right. But see, Bruce Campbell, when he plays in everything else he's ever done, he plays Bruce Campbell.
Yep.
I love him in Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, and even on Burn Notice, whatever. He's always playing Bruce Campbell, which is
did you see the new movie that's out Black Friday with Bruce Campbell? I wonder if anyone in the chat has seen it. It's like a sci-fi horror. Yeah, I guess it came out pretty recent. I think it was on one of the streaming services. I can't remember, but
I've never seen it.
Horror comedy. He's working in I think in a big box toy store. And there's aliens, infect the people. So I guess the employees turn into zombies. So it's like a zombie movie, but Campbell's
never heard of
so
it. You told me.
Yeah, just came out. So
yeah, Bubba Hotep was hilarious too. Phantom Outsider, but 70 Sons, you big dummy. I love that show. Kogi Pan, hello there. But see, on Briscoe County Jr., this is the only character that I know of, and there may have been some other ones, where Bruce Campbell plays a character, not just playing Bruce Campbell, because Briscoe is not Bruce. I mean, he's not anything like the character of Briscoe is nothing like any other of the characters he ever plays. He has a great sense of humor, and there's a fun, tongue-in-cheek adventure, sense of humor to his character. But Briscoe is more of he's a badass. He does have, but he's also similar to Paladin, the greatest Western Western TV show ever. Is Have Gun Will Travel. Paladin is not like your average Western character. He's this brilliant, erudite, like just amazingly, well-spoken, poetic guy who happens to be a great gunfighter. Well, yeah, Briscoe's actually more of an intellectual character than just your typical Western character. Yep. And yet he was, he's the fast gun, all that stuff. But he went to law school for 7 years or whatever, to Harvard to become a lawyer. And then when his, Arlie Ermey plays his father, legendary Briscoe County Jr., when he's killed by a bunch of criminals, Briscoe Jr. goes after them, this group of 12. Yep. And his father raised him to be a great lawman and stuff, but then sent him off to law school. So here's this guy back into the law, going after them, and he's a lawyer. So in other words, he's a brilliant character. He's just not.
So they make jokes about him going to Harvard and being like educated man and stuff like that.
That kind of stuff. But he's also a ridiculously fast gun, that sort of thing. And there's a science fiction element to it. But that's the thing. He's not like your typical Western characters that you see, of course. Aunt Esther. There they go. I do. If someone mentions Aunt Esther, you're gonna see this joke.
Red Fox would be so canceled today. Yes.
We can press your face in some dough and make gorilla cookies. I love Red Fox. He would be canceled.
Yep. I'm having the big one. It's the big one.
I'm going home. This is the big one.
It's the big one.
You big dummy. I love it.
Sanford and Son is God, I love
Sanford
and Son too.
Oh God, great. Love it. So yeah, he was autologous. I can never pronounce the damn name he was on Xena. But again, he was a goofball on that. He's Bruce Campbell in everything he does except when he plays Briscoe. I don't know.
Interesting.
But anyway, so I can't wait to watch that again now that someone spurred that. But yes, all right, Troy, if you're still there, bro, if you would come on one Wednesday night and talk Blake 7, we could just do that, the two of us, but we'll still do the roundtable eventually. But I got to do the Captain America roundtable in December, because we're gonna run out because we're almost out of the year, right?
It's going by fast. Wow.
So got to do that.
It's been a crazy year, but it's been good to hang out with everyone. So
yes, it has.
So, but yep. Hopefully next year will be better. Yep.
Well,
yeah.
Hopefully I'll make it to next year.
No, we all will. Right? Don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm just saying. Let's see. Here we go. Oliver says, Clobby Marky, which was the better ending of Army of Darkness, original or alternate? Aren't there like 3 alternate endings?
What was the?
I like the one I like the theatrical. All right, there's the theatrical, which is, of course, he ends up back in S-Mart telling the story to the really hot chick about him, and to the other, the 2 people, including one of the hot chicks. No one
believes him, yeah.
And then the Deadite attacks, and he pulls one of the guns. First he starts shooting at it, and he goes, "Lady, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the star." Stop S-Mart. But anyway, and he ends up shooting her and killing her and stuff. Stopping the Deadite. Then he pulls off his regular clothes, and he's he's still got his arm and all that kind of stuff because it was all a true story. And yes, it ends with him saying, like you say, Phantom, "Hail to the king, baby." Well, there's an alternate version where he was because he was told to he had to drink a drop for every century that he needed to return to his time. And again, in that version, what I just told you to happen in the theatrical. What in the alternate version is he loses count of how many drops, and he wakes up in the far-flung future, and it's a kind of a tribute to the Planet of the Apes ending where he walks out and he's got his hair and all that kind of stuff, and he sees that the world has just been destroyed by Deadites. It's in ruins and all that stuff. He sees Big Ben in the distance all crumble and everything. So
I just posted the link to that. Yeah. Of course, you can find stuff pretty quick on the interweb. So, which is that's if you haven't seen Army of, of course you got to start with the Evil Dead first. But I guess you could watch just Army of Darkness, right? Without seeing
Evil Dead 2 at least.
Yeah,
I would watch Evil Dead 2 at least because the first one doesn't really tie into it. 2 is
just the book. It's just the book, really. I'd say.
Yeah. Is there a book?
Well, I mean, just the story of the book, the evil book, the
Necronomicon.
Yeah, it's just really how you're right. It doesn't really tie in, but got to remember watching the Evil Dead for the first time with my friends, back in VHS and, pizza night, sleepover, hang out. God, that was a scary freaking movie to watch, late night. And then you start hearing noises and things and you start to, what's that out there? Yeah.
At least Evil Dead 2 is a cartoon, though. It's funny. It's not even scary. It's scary at first. Then it's just so silly and fun. I love it. I love Evil Dead 2. But I love I think I love Army of Darkness even more, really. But yes, Oliver, I kind of like the way the theatrical ending better, but the other one's fun to see.
Yeah, he loses track of the drops, right?
Yeah.
You damn dirty.
Yep. That was funny. So, yeah.
I would lose count myself too, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well,
it's tough to count like that, right?
Ash is a dummy. I mean, that's what's funny about him. I mean, let's face it. Did you ever see any of these strips? Is it great? Well, that's not a strip. That's
I actually have the Superman a collection of Superman. I think from 38 to 41. Someone gave me a nice collection of Superman strips that I have, but I'm probably seen some of these, and but yeah, but like you said, it'd be nice to have a collection of that stuff to read. But
yeah, I'd like to see that.
I used to read Spider-Man every day when that was when you got the paper every day when you're then you had, I think it was an old, probably was a reprint. It was Larry Lieber, I think, was doing the
and John Romita. I think they're still doing it. I mean, some of them are still doing it, and they have some big hardcovers reprints of those Spider-Man strips. Even from where Romita did the strip, there's some nice hardcovers of those.
And then you'd wait for Sunday because it was colorized. It was in color.
Yep. And then of course there's the Star Trek strip as well.
I never read that. There was a compilation of that that I was looking at, but it was tough to get.
I think we talked about that a while back. That yes, I have those, the big books of those.
Yep. Do you have those or you got those?
Yeah, I have. I have the the ones from the American strips, right? And then I have one of the two ones for the UK reprints. That's when we showed this before, probably, but yeah. I mean, every day. Of course, that was the weekend color supplement right there. And we didn't get it in our local paper.
Nice.
Yeah. So, D. Oberg, what, dude? I am behind the stream. How about a read? How about a reading of Bernie Wrightson's adaptation of Wrightson? Oh my God, Lim Wein and Bernie Wrightson Swamp Thing. That would be fantastic, dude.
Yeah, if they did it right, of course. Yeah.
Yes.
They didn't muck around with, like you were saying earlier. I mean, you do an adaptation, then you try to change it again. Yep.
Yes, it would. Well, that's a good one to dig out there, Cockney. Born Again is a masterpiece. To me, that's Miller's best writing ever. But yeah, these are great. Man, really, that one especially.
Art is nice. Art is good on that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an LA Times syndicated strip. That was Thomas Warkington. He was a pretty good artist. But see, they got these conflated with some other. Let's see, there's of course. See, I guess I didn't mind those uniforms.
They're not bad. They're not as bad as everyone said. I mean, I think it was just. I think now there's just such a product of the '70s, but now the '70s stuff is coming back now that it's. And they're drawn pretty well. They look comfortable to wear, right? I mean.
Yeah, a buddy of mine used to call the motion picture the pajama party. So
now everyone's wearing pajamas out, right? You go out now, kids are wearing pajamas everywhere. So see, Star Trek predicts the future yet again. I mean, come on.
But yeah, the Wrightson Swamp Thing, that would be fantastic. And you got Steve saying what 3D.
Oh, because all the swamp details, right? All the creature details. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, what they do in the new swamp thing?
They did a movie,
show. Did the show that they did that only got canceled?
Yeah, I hated that show. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that a suit or was that CGI? I can't remember now. Because the swamp thing looked pretty good in that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
I don't know if they did a suit or CGI, and then they canceled. You could see the show was going good, and then they found out that they got cut for like 3 or 4 or 5 episodes, and it just destroyed the. I'm sure the writers went not. They're trying to end the season or the series. It's like they cancel it before we're waiting for the reviews. It was really weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they did it, but I just know I didn't like it much.
Yeah.
I thought the show kind of sucked donkeys, to be honest.
Well, I thought the first few episodes were
stuff.
good, and then it went off. Then it went off the rails. But I think I'm forgiving the writers because I think part of it was they realized they had like 5 or 6 less shows to they would get get to adapt their story. So, but yeah, it was weird to cancel it even before. They made such a big deal out of it, and then they canceled it. Because that's when they had that DC streaming service, and they're like, with the Swamp Thing, subscribe and get to watch the Swamp Thing. Oh, we canceled it, by the way. Yeah.
I thought it was terrible. The chick was really cute, but
yeah,
I didn't like what they did to Alec Holden. I just, Floronic Man, and I just hated it. I hated it.
No, I hear you, but I think
even
I'm
Blue
always
Devil
trying to be nice.
I know they had Blue Devil on there,
weird.
but they didn't use them really. The answer to your question is Kal-El, who says, was there ever a Star Trek Enterprise comic book series or even newspaper strip? I don't ever remember ever seeing one. No, it's the only Star Trek that never had either. The only time there's anything close to a comic book of it was, I think, 1 or 2 issues of that anthology, IDW anthology series called Star Trek Ways something or other. Forget the name of that one. Now, I think there was an anthology series where they showed had a couple of panels, this Enterprises in it, but for the most part, I don't think there's ever been an Enterprise. There was never an Enterprise comic book series at all.
Right? Yeah.
No, just Star Trek what is it called? I know it's going to aggravate. Maybe to check, see what it's called.
So you're talking about which Star Trek? The
Enterprise.
Oh, the Enterprise.
Star Trek Ways, something or other. What was that series that they had? It was like an anthology. I have to find it here.
And they had the crew from Enterprise. They had the Enterprise prequel or Star Trek Enterprise. I remember that.
Oh, Waypoint was okay. There was a comic called Waypoint where they would do like different, story. There it is. There was one right here. There you go. Waypoint. This is pretty much the only time Enterprise ever got into a comic book. Yeah, I'm fairly sure they're Kal-El. I'm fairly sure that's the only time. It never had a series, and I knew it was in Waypoint at least once. And I think there's a story in there, and that's probably about it. So, I was waiting for one too. I was waiting for one too. I was saying, why aren't they doing an interview? We're doing a comic of all the other ones. Even when Enterprise was on, there was a few comics.
Yeah, issue 3 is Voyager. 4 is TNG. 5 is TOS. And 6 is
that almost looks like an
like
action
TOS
figure.
Too. Maybe it's a special. Let's say Waypoint special.
Yeah. Again, I can't remember if I bought this or not. I probably did. Okay, yes, it's got an Enterprise story in it. Let's see. Yeah.
Trying to find it, yeah.
If there's any other Enterprise comics, I don't think there is, but there might be. But it never had its own series, I can tell you that. Let's see. There's Waypoint. Different covers. See, there's some variant covers. It's got Next Gen in there too, but it's got an Enterprise story in there.
Okay, that's where I was just skimming the covers, yeah. So
see, there's a number 4 with the Next Gen characters
4,
on it.
And then they have an Enterprise in there, yeah. Well, heck, they didn't even finish the action figure line, so I mean,
no,
they're not going to do a comic book. So we were talking about that one of the shows, I was showing that 3D printed bridge piece because they didn't finish the Travis figure with the bridge to go with the other figures. So
right,
and then they had some of the characters like Hoshi was and the Phlox were only in their away suits, which was ridiculous. So, because they started with some of the characters with the in their space suits or away suits, thinking they would finish the line, but
Eric, this is, I believe, the closest they ever got to a Star Trek animated comic. I don't think they ever did one other than this one. That's Star Trek Transformers. You ever see that?
God, I haven't seen that one. No. Oh, that's great. I love that issue cover. Wow. That's awesome.
I think I bought 1 or 2 of these. So I think this is the only comic they ever did based on the animated series, and that's Star Trek teaming up with Transformers. If they did another one, I'm not sure. They may have, but I don't think so. I could be wrong. That's IDW. That was just about 4, 5, 6 years ago or whatever. Maybe
So it's
not
not
that
that
much.
old. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. God, I'd love to frame that and put that up on the wall. Yep. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, you could. There's probably. I'm sure there's trades of this now.
Yeah.
Look, the girl power issue.
There we
Girl
go.
power. Who else? All right, raise your hand if you'll admit to buying Star Trek Transformers. No one will think the poor of you. I bought an issue.
Is that Megatron with the NCC 1701 on his
I
in the
do not
middle
know.
panel? That wide middle panel says NCC 17.
Oh, look, it is. Holy shit. Captain of the Starship Enterprise, I came here to protect life. Wow, it sure is. Megatron's got the NCC on there. What in the hell?
He's going to transform into the Enterprise.
Yeah. I really did buy an issue. I think I bought only one or two of them, though. I would have bought them all. It's just that the comics are expensive. And this is back when it came out. I just impulse bought the first one. And it just kind of just got out of the habit. D-Bud, but no, look, I'm not too proud.
What did D-Bud write that you, or Eric K wrote, you bought all the issues with Wesley in it? Is that true?
I don't think he was in any of those. What are you taking over for? Taking over? Wow, I get noticed. So get over respect.
No respect.
So yeah, you guys, you never heard of this, really?
I don't remember that. When did that come out?
Oh, could have been.
That's not
maybe
that old.
2 or 3 years ago. Yeah.
I'm not in the comic book shop anymore, too. So that's the thing, too. So it's like my local shop closed. So back in the day, you'd go browse. You'd browse the rack, and if something caught your eye, or the owner knew I'd love Star Trek. So if there was a new thing out, he's like, "Oh, I put this in your in your pull box. I'm sure you'd want this. And if you didn't, you wouldn't."
No, I got you.
Forced me to buy comics. Yep.
You would have bought this, though, probably if you saw it.
Oh, I would have bought if I'd seen it. Yeah, if I'd been in the store, if I'd seen it. Yeah.
Now that's a trade. Trades. I don't know how many issues they have now. They're trades. Again, it couldn't be more than like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Oh, 2018. It says September 2018.
See, Kalel said, had I known these existed at the time of their release, no, 18. Okay, I would have bought them all. There you go. Well, I don't know how many there were, but you could track them down. Probably fairly normal price. I'm guessing. Now again, this is better. This is at least it's the animated Trek, so it makes better sense than some of the other team ups like Star Trek X-Men and Star Trek Planet of the Apes. That was kind of, or Star Trek. They have so many different. The Star Trek Green Lantern one was really bad for a couple of reasons, especially since it was not even real Trek. It was fake Trek. It was Jar Jar trash. So that was when they were going crazy. Just a few with some of these crazy team ups. They had Tarzan Planet of the Apes. They had Star Trek Planet of the Apes. They had, and I'm a big fan of those franchises. But I looked at these, there were some really great covers to these things. They were trying to lure you in. They're going,
well, yeah, they sell. Yeah,
the idea is stupid.
Well, I read the novel. I read the novel for Star Trek TNG and the X-Men. Yep, I bought the.
Oh yeah, they had 2 books. They were later after the comics.
Yes, I read those. Yeah,
I got the Star Trek Legion of Superheroes, so I had to have that one.
Yeah, right.
Little known fact. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Eric K. Little known fact: Clobby put his life savings in putting out a Wesley comic. Even the libraries would not take it for free.
Oh,
well. Again, you trust somebody. You think they can keep your secrets, and Eric K. just throws them out there on the internet for all to see. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Release the Clobby Wesley comic. We got to know.
I got to know. There's a trade paperback collection that was released in 2019. Is still available on Amazon for $18. Says Kalel. There you go.
Thank you.
I think I only bought like 1 or 2 of those issues. But did you buy the X-Men Trek X-Men?
I think I did. I must have bought those. Yeah,
I just saw it. This
Let me
is
look it up.
idea.
See if I had it. Yeah.
But what I did buy, so I'm not judging anyone, because I bought Star Trek Legion of Superheroes. But I have a reason. When this stupid thing came out, there were 2 things from a regular basis that were missing from my life: real Star Trek and real Legion of Superheroes. So Look at it. They look like the real track characters, and they look like the
nice
real
art,
Legion
yeah.
that I love. Yeah, well, they had a lot
Yeah.
of covers, but they look like my Legion. So it was a goofy story. I bought it and read it because I had to have it. And obviously, there was only like 5 Legionnaires. That's you have Saturn Girl and Lightning Lad, Cosmic Boy, Chameleon Boy, and Shadow Lass. And Kirk did hit on Shadow Lass, just like he hit on Jean Grey.
Well, he's got to, right? Yeah.
He's got to know. And had all these crazy covers. George Perez cover.
And there are a lot of Star Trek comics out there too.
Yep. That's some amazing covers for this. I would just like to look at a Mike Grell cover. I think I got this one. I got a couple different covers. I like this one. I love this cover that's deceiving because this scene didn't happen. They got all the real Legionnaires.
Yeah, the Star Trek Next Generation was X-Men Planet X. Yeah. Looking at that, yep.
Wasn't that Scott Lobdell or somebody who wrote that one? I mean, I can't remember.
This one it's in Michael Jan Friedman.
Was it Michael Jan Friedman? That's the novel,
yeah.
though. I meant
That's
the
a novel, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Still, what an idea. Why would you? I don't know.
Wasn't there a Star Trek Planet of the Apes crossover too, maybe?
Yeah, there definitely was. Let's see. And that had some great covers, by the way.
I'm trying to remember if I bought any of those. Yeah.
We shouldn't be doing this without Raquel, though.
Yeah. No one tell her, please. Yep.
No one tell Raquel on us. We'll do it. We'll show her some of these too, unless she has some other stuff she wants to see tomorrow night. But we'll do something. But we did this. Actually, we already showed her these. Actually, we did show her these. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You were right. Of course,
cover.
Star Trek X-Men was Scott Lobdell. Yep.
Is that a Perez cover? Look, that's a Star Trek Planet of the Apes cover. Looks like a Perez cover. Wow. I mean, what the hell? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why would they
do that? Right. That was the Prime Directive series, right? Yeah. I think I bought some of this.
I did. I bought some of them. I'm like, this is just kind of. I don't know.
Yeah, I did buy a few of them. It was showing.
It's a good cover. That's
the cover
IDW
with the Statue
Boom.
of Liberty was good. Oh, that's good too. Yep.
Oh yeah. You maniacs! You blew it up. That's a crap. No, look. Captain Kirk on the Planet of the Apes. That's a different one. That's a Ross.
Remember one of them they did. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say one of them they did an incentive cover for issue 4 with Heston. That's the gold key logo. I don't know if that'll pop up for you, but that looks really cool with the old.
Oh God, yeah! Look at that.
It's like a reproduction of the gold key. Yeah, oh yeah. There's one of them.
Shitty picture. Oh, there's one.
That one. I like that cover.
Yeah,
oh, that one's good.
They don't have a big scan of it, but yeah, and there's another one. Look at that. Oh shit! See, they kill you with these guys because you kind of want to get these damn covers,
right?
I know what they're doing. Shit,
they're not stupid, right?
Marketing these freaking covers. Yeah. Oh my goodness!
Hey, we'll make it look like Gold Key. We got Planet of the Apes. It's like we know our audience, right? I mean,
yep. Didn't they do Green Lantern Planet of the Apes? I'm kidding. Oh shit! They did do it. They did it.
Why not? Right? Sell that IP.
God.
There you go.
Holy shit. I forgot about this. Jesus, mother of God. Why? Look at these covers. Oh my God, this cover. I almost want this cover. Green Lantern, Planet of the Apes.
Oh God, look at the ship. Looks like the ship from the TV show and the movies. Yep.
That's Taylor's ship, the Icarus. Mother of God, I want that cover. Oh my goodness. I think it was it Hal Jordan though, or was it? I can't remember. Holy crap! Look at that, the Neil Adams throwback cover.
Taylor's a mutant.
These are hilarious. And Apes
the
Day and
the
Apes
mutants,
Night.
guarding worshiping the nuclear bomb underneath, right? Yeah.
They did all these throwback covers to Planet of the Apes Green Lantern from 2017. These are pretty funny to look at, though. They're hilarious.
That's how they get you, right? You're in the store and you're like,
oh my god. I mean, how many covers does this friggin' thing have? Yeah, but
there's a bazillion. Yeah, that's what
Jesus.
Today. I mean, I use comic-based collecting software, and they had some great podcasts you can watch on the program itself. And one of the streams they did was about variant issues, because there's so many damn variant issues. How do they track the variants in the program?
Yeah.
So what they would, because what happened is then they used the letters of the alphabet. So it was like, 1 A B C D, and then they ran out of letters on some of the comics, so they had to say, "Are we going to do 2 A's or do A B first?" It was like, do we go A B? It was a discussion. But like, because there's it's so obscene. I mean, the number. I mean, I could see like for an issue number 1, maybe doing a few variants.
Right, Mr. Gregory.
Hey, Gregory. But when I was doing my thing,
it's crazy. You're right.
Thing video, I found, I was reading something, trying to find out, the current Marvel, lineup or whatever. And they're like, and for you Marvel, zombies out there, I'm throwing in the zombies, like, we've got 5 number 1 issues this month. It's like, Jesus Christ. So 5 number 1. It's like, they keep, like, the Hulk, of course, went back down to number 1. I can't remember the other 4 number 1 issues, but it's like, just give me good comics. I don't care about issue number 1. It's got to be number 1 again, so I can.
These variant covers. But they make some really good ones sometimes. And you're like, damn it. And they're kind of nice. They're nice art to have. This one actually kind of is not as far out of dumb a concept as the other ones. Tarzan and the Planet of the Apes. I almost bought this one. But I guess the art's okay. Yeah, so maybe they didn't have 30,000 covers.
Yeah, whenever there's a big new issue, it's like, oh, they got to load up on the covers. It's just, and then when I buy online now, you can actually go in. I mean, the services, they do a fantastic job in terms of being a virtual comic book store, but you've got to go in and pick. You get the standard issue, but if you want to, you can go in and pick all the variants that you want, and some of them you have to bid to get like an extra, because they'll charge you more for the variants because there's fewer of them. It's like a chore if you're collecting, say, I'm not getting as many, but say you were getting like 20 books a month, you'd have to go in and like pick all the variants. It could take you like a half hour just to pick the variants that you want.
Oh, hell comics. Yeah, it's freaking nuts.
That looks like a Mad magazine, yeah.
No, this was I have every issue of this one. Yeah, I guess it does. But this is the this is the 70s Planet of the Apes black and white mag. This was a great magazine, by the way.
They're not doing that cover today.
Nah. That would be, they would not. I still have, I think I have every issue of this. They had some really good stories in these things.
And were there any comics in there, or was just written stories? Comics,
multiple comic stories in these things. They were great.
Stories. Okay, they're comics. Okay.
Yeah, they had one that was really good called Terror on the Planet of the Apes. Mike Klug doing the art, and they had they had a couple. They had a lot of stuff in there, and they had interviews from the movies and the show, and different things, articles. But there were multiple comics as well. I mean, this is when the apes were huge. Yeah. I have this, by the way, the book and record, Power Records. Still have this sucker right here.
Nice. Well, apes were huge. I mean, I have
the apes were huge.
I had the animated show on DVD, and of course, I had the TV show. I was a fan of the TV show. It's been a while since I rewatched that, but as a kid, I don't know who thought it was a good idea to come up with that was the 70s. Like, you have a story about a dystopian sci-fi future where the Earth is destroyed. Hey, let's sell toys to the kids, and we all loved them, right?
We loved them.
We had our Amigos. Yeah, it was a big hit for kids. I mean,
the cartoon, which was made by Doug Wildey, as in Johnny Quest, it was more based on the Pierre Boulez Monkey Planet book than it was the movies. The apes had trucks and had cars and stuff, and
they're more advanced, right?
They were more advanced, and they played a song on the radio. I'm going humanoid over you, so I'll never forget. And it was a little bit more like that, yeah. But it was cool though. I mean, it was very limited animation, like 1974 or something like that. But it had pretty limited animation, if I remember right. But yeah. Oh, D-Bud, you had those too, huh? D-Bud, great stuff, man. Great magazine. All those Marvel black and white mags. Good God, I could look at those covers all day on some of those. Return to the planet of the apes. And then they did the comics, of course, too. They did it all. Yeah. Yes, sir.
It's sci-fi, but in some ways it's reminded me of Western almost, if that makes sense. I mean,
oh yeah,
because you got the sci-fi almost, it's more like a Western. And it's saying, have you seen RoboCrap? As we joked, yeah. And they sold toys at a cartoon. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they had that TV series much later that was kind of like a kiddie friendly. So it was RoboCop without the gore, basically. And if you're a diehard RoboCop fan, you watch it. But it was like a sergeant and like a young girl that befriended RoboCop. I think she was an orphan or something.
Well, they did a Rambo cartoon.
Yeah, right.
Didn't last long.
And the toys, yeah.
I think Michael French covered that. Well, I think he sent a video about that.
Yeah.
And they had a Chuck Norris cartoon.
The Commando toys, too. They had some Commando toys. They were going to do a Commando cartoon. John Matrix.
Hey.
Never, yeah. I think we're doing the Commando on Toxic Tuesday. I think we're showing pictures, and I found the toy, there's like a guy with his arm getting blown off or something on the back panel or something of the toy. It's like, Mommy, can I have this? The 70s were great. But of course, that was 80s, but yeah, 80s too. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Well, I found this was. I got to show you this issue that I was unbagging or bagging. So this was Carol Danvers after she ate too much turkey on Thanksgiving.
What the fuck?
Or I got to scan that and give that to Nick Weiser. I was like, she's in a lot of pain. So don't eat too much turkey tomorrow because that could happen to you.
Oh man, the Thanksgiving issue. Yeah. God, comics look like dog crap.
What was that? That was number. It was Avengers. Yeah, Assemble number 16.
The new issue.
This is old. It's new. I mean,
Marvel
relatively
now.
new. I think it's within the last 5 years. I'm not sure.
Oh, I thought it was one you just got. Oh, that's right.
Well, I'm bagging and boarded. Yeah, so
I
had a box that wasn't bagged and boarded. So, of course, the new ones that I get are bagged and boarded, of course, from the service. And of course, we'll talk about this on another show, but that's the current issue of the thing. So, but
yeah,
we'll save that for another.
I told you, Claude picked it up for me.
He got me. He dropped it off.
No, not yet. I gotta go get it. But I mean,
you probably were mad at him for that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, idiot. Well, because but he liked it. But I mean, he got me a different cover, so I like the cover you got. So.
Which cover did he get you? You don't know yet, or?
Yeah, I do.
Maybe the floaty head one,
yes.
or
with the big head on
thing head. Yep.
Right, which is fine. I mean, I don't care. I mean, because I didn't ask for it one way or the other, so I don't care. I mean, but I'm saying I would have picked the one up you got if possible.
Yep. There's a Dr. Doom one too.
He usually likes. Yeah, I saw that one. He usually likes to send me a damn. A lot of times he'll send me a cover of a picture of a comic that came out that they're out of, and say, "Hey, this came out, but they're out of it." Well, why are you telling me then? Like the new issue of the Orville. Hey, they had number 2, but not number 1. Thanks for telling me that. I can't get it. But fine.
Yeah, gee, thanks. Yeah, we can get it on Fleabay, as my friend calls it. Yep.
It's a new issue. It's a new issue, though. I guess I can just. I mean, I'm now so far behind on Orville comics because, our comic shops are crap when it comes to. I mean, not that I like new stuff, as you know, anyway, which is good because if you like new stuff that isn't gigantic mainstream stuff that they're not going to sell a bunch of copies, they won't take a shot on them. They'll order for their folders and they won't put them on their rack.
That's the trouble, yeah. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
well, comics they're not selling, right?
Well,
I mean, just the numbers.
But even back in the old days, I would order close to the vest on some stuff, but I would want to have a couple for the rack. If you don't
just to show, right? Yeah, to show. Yep.
Sure, you got to have some stuff to put out there. Well, because you never know who's going to come in and get it. But yeah, I mean, and we have the shops here now and do something that I've never seen. Maybe not never. But I can't think of too many shops, and maybe you've seen shops do this, and they have for a long time. And I've told the guy how stupid it is. I don't like it. He bags not boards, but bags all the new comics and puts them out. In other words, you can't take them off the rack and look at the new stuff and what's in it.
Oh, so you can't open it up to see if the art's decent.
Can't open it. Oh, I tell them I'm opening it anyway. Oh yeah, so I'm opening this. All right, but I mean, back when I cared about buying anything.
And then the problem is then you mess up the. I hate that with the tape. I always buy the resealable bags now, because the tape. It always whatever you do, if sometimes you're not careful, you forget to bend it back. To close. You like it nails the cover. Kill your cover.
What do you mean resealable? Sealable? They got
resealable bags now. So they've got like the 3M sticky goo on it. So you pull the strip off, and then go here. I'll show you. So this
is that new?
No, it's been for a while, but. So see the back, it's tough to tell, but then you just take your...
Oh, yeah. So you don't use tape.
See, there's no tape, but it's like a sticky...
Oh, I've never bought any of those. I've always bought...
Yeah, they're a little bit more money, but they're worth it. So then I would never destroy this glorious cover of Captain Marvel in pain there. So, and then you can take your...
What's the guarantee you won't snag on there?
Well, because it's like that. It's actually on the backing. It's really tough to tell with the light, but it's
on the backing.
The backing here, so as you take the comic out,
I've never used one of those.
They're nice. Yeah,
they don't even have them. Doesn't even give you copies of those where I am.
Yeah, so when you pull it out, whenever you have the tape is on here, so you got to fold. The trick is to fold the tape over, but that way there's no goop or anything on here, so you can take your book out safely.
I guess they're too cheap down here because I haven't seen those here.
Yeah, it costs a little bit more, but it's not a lot more, so it's worth it. Of course, service.
The idea is great.
Yeah. The service I use. They don't. I got to suggest them get the resealable. Now you can kind of see the resealable bag.
No, I get you. That's pretty cool. Again, they're too cheap to do that down here apparently because you could get them if I asked for them, but I never even. Yeah. I don't know. If I knew about them, I forgot. So yeah.
So you can get them, Silver Age and Bronze Age too. Yep. Diva, should that be on your dartboard?
Yes,
I'm going to scan that. Nick uses that when he gets a super chat. He does the Captain Marvel getting punched. So I got to scan this and send this to him. It was like an icon or something because I was flipping through. I'm like, oh, I didn't remember this one, but I'm like, oh my god, that is just hysterical. Captain Marvel there.
Oh shit. No. I don't know. That's it's pretty cool, but I haven't had a bag and board comics in a long time. And again, I keep looking. I want to bag and board some of my magazines, and that's just not cheap.
Yeah, because those bags are expensive and
the
boards
boards
are expensive, right?
And
Could you get away with none of the comic, even the old nothing would be close to that size, right? I guess it's more what's mag is a lot. Well, you can't cheat like you can't,
No, magazine size are bigger.
It's too big, right? Yeah. What's 11.5? What's the magazine size? It's
8.5 by 11, I think.
Yeah.
8.5 by 11, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, I got tons and tons of stacks for years and years of stacks of back issue magazine, which I have every issue of. Tons of Alter Ego magazine, of course, and forget it with the Jack Kirby collector. Those are all too big.
Yeah, I wonder what
Actually,
they
they
charge
finally
for
went down to the regular size for that, though. But still,
Let me check I'm going to check my supply house, the Comic Empire. Let's see what they charge for that. I'm sure they ain't cheap. Yep.
No.
Back when I was a kid, I would buy. I couldn't find bags for my comics, so I found like these bags that were like a little bit bigger, or way bigger, I should say. I don't know. My mom had them, or somehow we found them. And I would, they're almost like grocery, plastic, probably like vegetable bags or something. I would fold them like, half over and half up, tape them all up, you know, some of my comics. I found some that had still done that years later because you couldn't get supplies. I mean, there's no way to get them. I mean, your comic.
That's just, I don't know how many years ago it's been now since the last time I did it, but I remember I did the process of bagging and boarding tons of my magazine collection. Again, it was my Back Issue, Alter Ego, Comic Book Artist, Comics Journal, Comic Book Marketplace, Jack Kirby, just a bunch of them. Now, Jack Kirby Collector, it's over the past few years, it's gone. You know, it's went back down to it went down to normal comic book size. But for the longest time, it was the size of a Treasury mag, which I always loved that it was the size of Treasuries. But the some jackasses complained to Tomorrow's, and they changed to they reduced the size to the magazine size, which really aggravated me. But still, and I can't remember how long ago it was I did that now, but it's been long enough to where they piled up again. Just crazy. Yeah.
So the boards are actually expensive. $18 for 100, but the other ones aren't. The bags aren't that bad. They're let's say I just post them in the chat. Bags are $100, 100 count, $8.10. That's not
bad. Yeah,
that's not bad price.
I could probably get away with about 200 or 300 of them each, but that's I can't even afford that right now. But that is not too bad. The boards are ridiculous, but I want that. You got to board them. But Hungry Boy, buddy, what's up?
Yeah, Hungry Boy.
Bro. You came in just in the nick of time there, man. We're just about to split. We're just about to pull out Evo Shandor. Wow. So look, I saw, by the way, good video you did today. Like that. Mine dropped today too. I didn't even know we may have dropped them at the same time. I can't remember.
We were close. Now mine just came out before I checked. I said, I want to drop at the same time as yours.
So it didn't matter.
I know.
I forgot mine. I went out, and I forgot to make my friggin' alarm that I had one on. So I'm out at the store or whatever I was doing at the time when I was supposed to be here with the video. I just totally forgot it because I forgot to make my damn reminder. I got one coming breaking out tomorrow. The second one's tomorrow. I'll probably forget that one too. But so everyone who was there at the video today, by the way, thank you so much, D-Bud, and whoever else was there who popped in. Thank you live. Appreciate you. And so I missed both of ours because I was out and I totally forgot them. I mean, I saw yours later, but
Thank you. Yeah, no, I was. I dropped by at the tail end of yours. Yep.
Oh,
and I said, "Where's Clobby? He's not there." I figured you're at the store getting some Thanksgiving supplies, right?
No, how'd you know? I mean, we really actually were, believe it or not. Yeah,
that's what I figured, right? Yeah.
Well, not. Yeah, my son was getting some. He's going to be gone. He's leaving him on for Thanksgiving. I ain't going to see him for the rest of the week. But I was just rode down with him to get some normal stuff. I'm going to be. It's going to be a weird Thanksgiving. Because it's not. My mom and dad aren't having it at their place. My brother's not. My whole rest of my family, my brother and his side of the family, they're going to be at the Superdome all day because the Saints play tomorrow night, and that means they're going to be out there tailgating, doing Thanksgiving outside of the dome.
Wow,
which they do sometimes. They'll be there get there at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they'll cook all day, and they'll be outside. Outside, right side. There's this There's this parking lot of that is connected to the dome that is outside, and they're going to put up tents and like they always do, and they put up TVs and just hang out there.
Some people not making it to the game. Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes people not making it to the game. I wonder. Let's just hang out here. I've seen the setups of like the big screen TVs and all the food and everything.
Yeah. They'll make it there, but yeah, they got and the game's a night game.
Yeah,
obviously. Playing Buffalo here, so
you guys have warm weather still down there. It's getting chilly up where I am in the Northeast. So
it's going to be. Let's see here. Out there all day. It's probably going to be in the. It'll be in 70s all day.
Yeah, nice. It's shorts weather, still.
No, yeah. So that's good. That's going to be fun for them anyway. But when we get to see any of them, so I'm going to go to. Just some I can't even, not really related, but friend who's related. It's sort of related to the family, not really family members other than my mom and dad, going out way out in the sticks somewhere to have Thanksgiving or whatever. But my son's going to be going to his mother's, and so there you go, and his sisters and stuff. So yeah. Anyway,
hope everyone has a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I just want some turkey. My mom is going to make some though, at least some turkey.
But she's not going to deep fry it, unfortunately, right?
No, she makes her. Well, her normal turkey is really great. My son's boss the other day, Monday, made some turkey over work for them, and he brought some back. It was pretty good, But
I love the turkey. You got to have a lot of gravy. Turkey with a lot of gravy. Oh, that's good. Or the one thing I love is the smoked turkey leg, like at Disney. If we get the smoked turkey leg at Disney. That was that was always a great snack. Yeah.
He by the way, he air fried the turkey, but it was good though.
It was one of those deep air fryers.
I guess. Yeah, it was pretty fancy. Whatever.
How could you fit in that? I thought they make them that big for that. Maybe they make one just for turkey now.
Guess,
maybe, right?
I guess so. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm gonna Google it. Turkey.
I appreciate that, D-Bud. He said he air fried it, but it was pretty good though. I mean, it's not like my favorite is the normal deep frying, of course, but that was was pretty damn good.
Oh, they do have them. Yeah. God, see, it's like a big, huge thing. Yep.
Did it?
Put the turkey on top. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Air fryers. Yeah.
Yeah. My son just bought
That's way too healthy. Come on, deep fry the damn thing.
You didn't? Yeah, no argument for me, but it was pretty good. My son just bought an air fryer. He likes to use it, but I can't miss that stuff. You already told me. I love Gibbons on Watchmen, and I love Gibbons on his Superman stories, and even his Green Lantern, and I love his Doctor Who too. So yeah, they don't like Dave Gibbons' art. Boo hiss. I mean, it's not like he's my top 25 or anything, Steve, but I like him. Steve has a very strict set of rules. There are things I'm not supposed to like, and I just continually walk over that line. And I am ashamed, though. Definitely ashamed of myself for that. So, everyone, I want to thank everyone for being here with us tonight. For those of you who are from other parts of the world that don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I still wish you a happy Thanksgiving because it's our big thing here. And just thank you so much for coming to see us, Mr. Grant Gregory and Hungry Boy and other wonderful friends, and Stuart Mitchell, others from other parts of the world. We really appreciate you guys so much. I'm thankful since I'm not doing a Global Geek Gang tomorrow. But I will do. We are going to have. Let's see. Who didn't invite you, Fat Steven Seagal? What did I not invite you to this time? I'm always not inviting him.
The Global Geek Gang that's not happening tomorrow.
No, he said that before I said that thing.
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
I'm inviting you to Thanksgiving. Fat Steven Seagal, you are invited to Thanksgiving with me. There you go. But tomorrow night we will have Clobby's Clubhouse.
Yep.
The wonderful one, Raquel Briggs, and I guess you're going to show up, right? Are you going to be?
I should be there. Yep. If I'm awake, just set my alarm clock after the turkey coma.
Well, yep. The turkey coma, folks. We're going to examine Mark and his turkey-induced stupor.
If I'm late, you'll know why.
$2 super chat from the lovely Fat Steven Seagal says, "I want to sit. I want to sit you in gravy, Buffett love." Sure, why not? Best offer I got all day, buddy. Thank you. And we'll bring you some turkey. Appreciate you, bro, Fat Steven Seagal. You guys have already had your Thanksgiving, but I'm still happy that anyway. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And tomorrow, again, no Global Geek Gang, but Clobby's Clubhouse will be here to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And let's see what we got. Oh, thank you so much.
We'll be clubbing tomorrow night.
Yes, we'll clobby and clubby tomorrow night. Thank you so much, Kalel. I appreciate you, brother. I'll thank you for the. Oh yeah, let me know if you're able to pick up those comic strips, man. And thank you to the lovely Sherry. Sherry, love. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween. I was about to say Halloween. Maybe you already
want some
did that.
Candy.
Yes.
You got eating M&Ms.
Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, Sherry. We appreciate you so much. Eric K. Brother, you have a great Thanksgiving. Also, D. Bud Martin, Kal-El, Steve Mitchum, brother, you and Maddie have a wonderful Thanksgiving, buddy. Who else is here that I know has Thanksgiving? Again, Thanksgiving, even if you don't celebrate it, have a good one on me anyway.
Yeah, and, cook a turkey tomorrow anyway.
Yes, indeed. Phantom Outsider, happy Thanksgiving. Fat Steven Seagal, happy Thanksgiving. Oliver Belamonte, happy Thanksgiving to you. Troy, buddy, Blake 7 soon, man. And happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Dark Shadow, happy Thanksgiving to you. Who else was here? A whole bunch. I can't see everyone. So, everyone, just thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate it. And I guess I'll play us out. Again, I want to wish the great Stone Loki, who did this intro outro for me, a happy Thanksgiving as well. And I hope to see you all tomorrow night, my friends. Clobber on, Clobberers. Netters Network, happy Thanksgiving to you, my dear.